in this lesson, we're going to learn how to draw beautiful lips for our comic characters. Now, first off, we have to understand that there's two major parts of the lip. You have the upper lip, and then you have the lower lip. But you can break the lip into 5 major pieces of actual form and fatty tissue. You have this 2 pieces for the bottom lip. And that's why sometimes you'll see that this will be like this, and you'll have this slight dip right here sometimes in lips, and then it kind of puffs out over here again. You have this middle section here, which sometimes is puffy and sometimes is kind of flat with the rest of the lip. And you have this portion here and this portion here. If we remember that, then all you have to really remember is that the upper lip kind of has a shape like this, and the bottom lip kind of has a shape like this. If you just keep that right there in mind, you'll be on your way to drawing pretty lips for your female characters. Because all we have to do from here is underneath this line is kind of draw this kind of curvature here, and that's where the lip kind of overlaps. So it's like this has kind of a roundness to it like that. Now some lips will actually have a little bit of a point right here, others won't. That's the main line. It goes below that line there. Then you just shape the bottom lip to be the shape that you want it. We'll go through a couple different shapes there are. Put that philtrum dip in there. You can make it pointy or not pointy. It's up to you, the type of lip you're drawing. And notice it comes down like this. If you follow that structure, you can see that will always give you nice looking lips. And you have a couple highlights in here, and then you're all done. Right, so that's the basics of it. Now let's go through different types of lips and what makes lips sexy. So one, full lips oftentimes are beautiful, attractive lips. But you don't always have to draw full lips. Typically though, at least a full bottom lip is done. Or sometimes you'll see the reverse done, but it's rare. You'll look at most comic characters that are really popular and that are beautiful, you'll notice that they have full lips. If they don't have a full upper lip, they at least have a full bottom lip. And if they're not smiling or in some sort of facial expression, which is typical of comic books, but if they're not, and they're just having a sexy look on their face, it's typically something like this here where they have the kind of open mouth a little bit. We'll go through a few different type of open mouths, but basically the idea to draw this is, again, start with that straight line, have that kind of shape, almost like a skateboard ramp, a side view of a skateboard ramp here. Then have either just a curved bottom lip, something like that beneath the line. This is the main shape that you want to start with. If you start with this shape, you're pretty much guaranteed to always have at least nice looking lips. And sometimes lips are the hardest part for people to get, but if you follow these instructions, I think you'll get it pretty easy. The next thing we want to do is we want to kind of lift this lip up a bit, so we want a hole here. So first imagine that there's a hole here. The hole follows a very similar shape. It comes up like this, comes across like this, comes down, in, and across. That's usually the basic shape of the hole. And sometimes it's a little more like a Superman type of shape. And what I mean by Superman is, how he has the S inside of that kind of diamond shape. So it kind of has more of a diamond shape like this right here, right? But we're going to go ahead and do something like this here. Sometimes you can just hint at the teeth by having little lines on the edge there. Now the next thing is we got to raise our lip up a little bit more here. Come down. Now we have the fullness of our upper lip. Right, so that's the basic idea right here, and have the lines there. Now if you wanted to, you can actually connect this part of the lip just coming down a little bit like that, just kind of hinting at the line. You don't have to though in comic books. You can just leave it the way I had it before. I usually shade the upper lip. It just depends on the lighting scheme that you're using, but typically the upper lip is going to be shaded. Kind of draw a couple, lines and circles in the bottom lip. Now the bottom lip can be shaped in all different kinds of ways. You can have what I call the heart lip or the butt lip. It kind of has a shape like that. I usually never connect my lines here. Notice how here I didn't connect them fully. I might draw a couple little dots where it might connect, but I don't actually fully connect it. Sometimes I'll draw the kind of, outside of the mouth part right here. Forget what that part of it is called. And there you have it. Now we have a very basic idea of a lip here, and you can see it looks pretty cool. And having that slight openness is what gives that kind of sexy look. And you can have it more open, less open. In this case, I went more of a wider lip. This came I went more with a puckered, shorter lip. It all depends on the kind of character that you're trying to draw. But if you follow those steps, that's pretty much the same step we draw for all different types of lips. Now, let's draw a few different types of Poplar comic lips, and then you'll have at least a decent understanding of how to draw the lips. And then when we start getting to 3/4 views, there's some things we have to understand about the lips that's important, but we'll go over that after we look at the profile view, the side view, and then the 3/4 view. And we'll also look at different ways when we get into minimizing the size of the face itself. We'll look at when we're drawing a very small face, how to just draw lips and noses with just minimal detail, like literally just sometimes a blob of ink or pencil, and it gives the illusion that there's lips there. Now, one thing you can do is you can actually take inspiration from real women's lips, but imagine how do you convert them to comic lips. And one of my favorite that I've converted to comic lips is Michelle Pfeiffer's lips. So you start with this straight line. Again, this is always the way I'm going to do it, and then have that shape come up. Right, this is your basic skateboard shape, and have this shape come down. Now with Michelle Pfeiffer, I'm going to keep them pretty even because her upper and bottom lip are pretty evenly shaped. Now what's really interesting about her lips is she has kind of a dip that comes up above this line right here. And this is if you take these basic lip shapes I'm about to show you right now in this lesson and apply them to different characters, and you can mix different upper and lower lips that we learn here, you'll have an assortment of lips to put on your comic characters that are always looking beautiful. Dip down just a little bit below the line and come up like this here. So this is the basic shape, and they're kind of a wider mouth here. We want to keep the upper lip a little bit thinner. We don't want it to be too big. And a really long, I call this the dent of the philtrum, just really long dent philtrum. It's not short. Right, that's the basic shape of the upper lip. And again, it's how you represent it in comic style. I think that's really important. And we'll give it just a slight openness here. Actually, you know what? We're not going to do that. We'll give a little bit of darkness right here, but that's it. We're not going to really open the lip up really. And then you can put a bigger lip, lower lip on it, but if you want to stay true to how Michelle Pfeiffer's lips look in comic style, kind of like this right here. And there are certain things you have to change, because you're not trying to draw real life, you're trying to draw a comic. Notice I'm not going to connect here and here. I'm not going to connect the lines all the way. In fact, I might even erase a little bit more of that line like so it's not connecting, and I might even erase some of the line here so it's not fully connecting there as well. Right, so that would be how you would draw Michelle Pfeiffer's lips if you wanted to represent them comic style. And you can use, either just upper lip or just a lower lip and mix different combinations. You can put a bigger lower lip on this upper lip and so forth. I like this for really elegant type characters. I think it works really good. Right, so a lip style that's sometimes popular in comics for a thinner lip style would be something like this here. So actually first, there's this kind of thing where it's popular in like Family Guy, which isn't really comics, a cartoon, where they just kind of draw the upper part here and just very minimalized shape here, just like the part of the mouth being open, and then that bottom lip, and that's pretty much it. That's the whole lip right there. They have no philtrum or anything like that. Sometimes that's done in comics as well. I personally don't like it. But anyway, so this Poplar is kind of like a heart-shaped lip on the top. So let's start with that same premise where we have the line, and in this case I'm going to make my upper lip a lot thinner, and I'm almost going to go right to that line when I do this. And this is where you have sharp lines here. This is that more heart-shaped lip, and the lip always comes down though like this. So even if the lip is thin, it's still going to come down and meet this straight line. And sometimes this lip might be kind of curved like this. Right, so something like this here. And the line usually is still straight right here, pretty much. If it dips down a little bit right here, and it kind of comes up like that usually. This is, for sexy comic lips, this is typical. Sometimes you might have a little point right here, but it's usually not drawn in comics, at least not in modern comics. right? So that would be the basic, that kind of thinner upper lip. You can make it even thinner if you wanted to. And then sometimes you might have a short, more squarish bottom lip. Add a little bit of shadow here. Right, and that right there will work. We can also take it and say, let's make it have short lip altogether. So now we have, it's still kind of squarish, but it's still thinner like the upper lip. Now we have this more thin, thin lips altogether. So this would be a popular style for thinner lipped characters. It still looks sexy. You can also add a little bit of openness in the mouth like this here. Always adding openness to the mouth is really popular to make, to make that kind of sexy looking face, a kind of, beautiful face. Another really popular lip style we'll run into is going to have the big upper lip and a really big lower lip, and then a nice open mouth. So again, I'm going to start with that same kind of straight line here. Now in this case, I like to kind of start to draw the shape of the open mouth. And the basic shape usually goes something like this. You have the kind, it's almost like that Superman symbol. It's going to come down like this here, so you have that kind of upper shape right here for the upper part of the lip. And for the lower lip, it's going to kind of come down like this. And you kind of see, if you were to kind of make that a shape, it would kind of be like a diamond, like this, or kind of like the Superman shape, sort of. I just like to draw that in there. Then if you can have the little lines right here to kind of hint at teeth if you wanted to. But this gives that shape of the open mouth. Sometimes, actually the teeth are never on the line itself. Let's go and get the eraser. I'm going to kind of erase some of this middle line here now. But rather always a little bit above it. So always make your teeth a little bit above that, because that's how it's going to be in comics and in real life. Now they have this kind of, wider, bigger philtrum here and kind of more square lips, and then sometimes they won't even draw the full lip here, like this line right here, and this line won't fully meet, so you have like a line here and here like that, and a line in between. And then right here, just kind of round it out just a little bit where it connects. Now the bottom lip isn't going to connect at all. It's going to start from down here, and it's going to kind of have a shape, more of a square shape, but kind of slight roundness to it like that, like a rounded off square shape. And again, this is going to be a popular lip that you'll see used in comics for popular women in comics that have that kind of sexy look to them. And you can make the mouth, have a wider open. You can also make the teeth not as visible. You can make this whole entire hole a little bit wider open. And sometimes you don't even connect it fully there, and then just kind of hint at that upper teeth a little bit. And there you have it. So that's that kind of sexy look. Right, if you mix these up, mix this the bottom lip where you have this kind of more butt-shaped lip, or you have this kind of pointed heart-shaped lip. You can also mix up the sizes of these things, but this right here is the basic core of all your lips. If you take this lip right here, for example, and this lip down here, we can kind of make a mixture of them. We'll keep the mouth closed this time, but we'll make the mouth much bigger. So we're going to come up here. We're going to still have that pointy look, except we're going to come like this, and we're going to keep it much bigger. We'll come down into the lip here, below that shape, and then we'll give that kind of bigger lower lip. That's a really big lower lip, so maybe not that big. We're going to give it a little bit longer this time as well. And there you have it. And you can make the upper lip bigger as well. You can really exaggerate. This is where your own style starts to show through, is how you choose to draw the lips, how you choose to shade them, all that kind of simplification, and the shapes you choose. But this is a good starting point going through these different lips. Now let's do one more lip style that's pretty popular. And this lip style here is going to be very similar to that kind of pointy lip, but it's a little different. So it goes like this. Have the straight line, and we'll draw the mouth with the mouth open a little bit. So right away, I like to draw that basic shape of what I'm going to have with the mouth open. Something like this here. Right, so that right there is the mouth open. And sometimes you can just represent the mouth with just that right there. Just having the mouth open is enough to represent pretty much the whole lip. We're going to pinch down now the part of the lip here, so it kind of has that shape there. Come across to here, we're going to come in and have this is the rounded part of the lip right here. Right, so you want that kind of, oops, this rounded part of the lip right here below that line. Next we're going to have a short but pointy, and then coming down. Remember, lips always come down like this, they don't. You have this curvature right here, so always keep in mind that shape right there for the upper lip and lower lip. Now keep in mind that shape right there, that's important, because the lip is going to come down like this. Like that, and then we're going to come off right about here for that bottom lip. And there's all different kind of shapes you can do here. Let's kind of do a slight more square shape here. The square shaped lip is pretty popular, where it's like more square shape. It's not like round like this. It's not, you know, the butt shape like that. It's just kind of start with that shape and then just kind of round it out like that, kind of like squarish. And then there you have it. These are all really quick sketches, but you can see that even though they're quick sketches, they give the idea of this sexy kind of character. We're going to start with the teeth up there, kind of just hint at it, and then we'll kind of shade the bottom part right here where the teeth are, like where the lower teeth are. And there you have it. So if you take a mixture of these types of lips, of the upper lip and bottom lips, and mix them together, make some bigger, more exaggerated, make some smaller, that's how you can get all the different types of lips that you want for your comic characters to have that nice, gorgeous look to them. Lips play a big part, I think. They're my favorite part of the female body when it comes to the face. It's just absolutely you know, eyes are really important. You really want to draw them in with the eyes, but for me, the lips are almost just as important. I want my lips to have really cool gestures on them and just have a really nice look to them. One last type of lip here, since we have a little bit time left here, kind of come up with this pointy shape and then comes straight down almost with a nice peak kind of around the top, and it comes straight down like this. You're not going to see this nearly as often, more for like you know, stylized. Always make sure you're trying to go below that straight line, but you might see this kind of lip here once in a while. And really, it's all up to you, you know, how stylized you want to get, and what, you know, what are you trying to accomplish with your lips? You know, what style are you trying to fall into? You can make it open or not open. It's up to you. That would be not open. Right, and there you have it. This kind of puckered lip, and I like that style. I use that style a lot in my graphic novel End of All, which is free online. Alright, so there you have it. Thanks for watching. Now we'll go ahead and go through the exercises. You can probably guess what they're going to be. It's going to be drawing a bunch of these different types of lips, mixing the things together. But hey, I'm going to tell you all about that in actual FaceTime so you can actually see me. So thank you for watching this lesson. Hope you enjoyed it.